Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Chisom Vivian Ibeblem, and I'm going to be teaching you something that will benefit you when it comes to your parenting journey. Alright? As a parent, there are things, or let's say there are signs that when you notice it in your child, you need to know that your child truly needs your emotional support. So in today's live stream, I am actually going to be teaching you the signs, those signs that you should look out for, those signs that once you notice it in your child's life, as a parent, you need to step in immediately and observe, and know that this is actually the time for you to help your child emotionally. All right, the time for you to support your child. All right. So I know a lot of parents will be like, are there actually signs that indicate that my child needs me, or will I say my child needs my help, or my child needs my support? Yes, there is. There are actually signs that when you see them, you as a parent should know that this is the time my child needs me the most. Signs like when you notice a regressive kind of sign, in the sense that your child who has stopped bedwetting, before you know, suddenly starts bedwetting, your child who normally sucks his or her thumb, all right, all of a sudden this child has started doing the same thing all over again. And you notice most times the child will ask you questions that that you need to reassure them for a particular thing, all right? Or probably doing it oftentimes, something that they have actually stopped. It tells that something is wrong. You need to look into, you as a parent really need to look into it and find out, just try to figure out what is going on, what is really happening in that your child's life. All right. And also, that's actually the number one sign. The number two sign is when you notice your child's expressing low self-esteem. See, there's one thing unique about parents. It is, let's say 90% or let's say 95% of parents out there notice things in their children's life even before an outsider does. So if you happen to, that's why we as a parent, we know a child that is very bold, that's outspoken. You can confidently say, this my child, this particular child of mine is always bold, is outspoken, but this one in particular is always shy. It's because we have paid attention to the way they live their life. We are paying very close attention to them being around us, and we happen to observe those signs. We happen to know those things, their character. Now we are used to them, like we know we can stand and say, this is who my child is. All right. So now that you are that parent that already know everything about your child, or let's say you just happen to be observant when it comes to your child's life, and all of a sudden your child is now expressing this low self-esteem, okay, and you know that that's your vibrant child. He or she is usually vibrant, usually hyperactive, but all of a sudden the child is now expressing low self-esteem. If maybe any of their cousin comes around and you say, come out, come and greet your cousin, come and greet your aunt, your uncle, they'll be like, oh mom, I don't think I can come out, my dress is not looking good, my dress is shabby, my clothes, like they keep giving you excuses upon excuses. All right, that is a sign that something is wrong. Or probably they will tell you, oh mom, nobody, those people, do they even like me? You get, maybe you tell them, do they even like me? Am I going, I can't come out looking like this. Like the child, the child, but for you as a parent, you know that your child is perfectly okay the way he or she is at that moment. That's why you even ask he or she to come and greet, or let's say welcome his or her uncle or her aunt or his aunt. But all of a sudden, that child doesn't want to. The child keep on saying, "Oh, mommy, I'm not looking good. The way I am is not good." Like, in fact, that's for me, that is a red flag. All right, you should look into it. In fact, that is the time you need to. After that event, please, as a parent, sit your child down. This is how you do it. Sit your child down and talk things through, talk things out with him or her. Let the child understand that he or she doesn't need to be, doesn't need to be portraying such attitude. Because for your child to be, exhibiting, that low self-esteem, complaining, negative things about him or herself, it's a red flag. Teach your child to know his or her worth. All right? Teach your child to always speak positive about him or herself. All right? I know this might sound funny, but we as parents, it is our duty to speak, to teach our children, to be bold, to know their self-worth. It is our duty to teach our children to know their right, to know their stand. Our child cannot, this is 21st century. Your child cannot come out and start, shying away from things. Mommy, I cannot do this. Oh, mommy, no. You want me to be involved in the school activity? Oh, no, mommy, I cannot do it. Mommy, I can't do it. A lot of people. For how long? In this generation, like in this 21st century, see, especially when they say that in this Gen Z generation, please teach your child to know his or her self-worth. All right? Teach your child to be bold, to speak, like to be outspoken. Teach your child that for him or she to fit in our today's world, he or she needs to stand up for him or herself. He or she needs to be bold. He or she needs to be, doesn't need to be having that low self-esteem. Teach them to be proud of themselves, because that is actually what brings about your children, complaining and speaking negatively about themselves. When your child knows his or her self-worth, no matter what the child is wearing, the child will know, I'm okay. In fact, I am fearfully and wonderfully made by God. I don't need anybody to tell me that I'm this, I'm that, before I will feel proud of myself. You get? So these are the things you should do. That's why I said, when you notice your child complaining, always speaking negatively about him or herself, know that something is wrong. Somebody must have, talked down on him or her, that has, made your child to be scared, no longer know who he or she is. They can't feel themselves anymore. Like they can't see themselves attempting things. They can't see themselves engaging, involving in activities. All because they now feel low. They now have this low self-esteem. Please, as a parent, that point in time, sit your child down and talk things through. All right? Encourage your child. All right? So that your child will really know his or her self-worth and also be proud of him or herself. Okay, I don't know if you're confused at any points, please let me know. Okay. Hello, Miroslav Nokhowski. Hello, thank you for joining my live stream. I appreciate you joining, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This is a parenting channel. In one way or the other, you will always learn new things from this channel. I assure you, even if it happens to be 2 minutes that you spend in this channel, you will definitely have something to hold on to. All right, so stay tuned as we proceed to learning the signs that when you notice in your child's life, you will know that this is the time I need to help my child emotionally. This is the time my child needs my support emotionally. All right, as a parent. So another sign is When you notice your child feels excessive fear or anxiety, okay, let me use my own self as an instance, something that has happened to me and the events that happened recently at home here. You know, I was living in my old apartment. I happened to my son, he literally knows everywhere. So most of the times he can confidently go to the toilets, ease himself and come out. But since we packed in here in this new place, I observed that he's now like, each time he will come to you and start saying, "Mommy, I'm pressed. Mommy, I want to eat. I want to eat. I'll be like, how come?" Remember I told you about regressive, characters. When a child that doesn't bedwet starts bedwetting, when a child that doesn't suck his or her hand that has stopped starts, the same thing all over again. I was like, I called him. I said, "What's going on? You don't even tell me when you are pressed. You always walk straight to the restroom, to the toilet, and you eat yourself and come out. Like, what's going on? Why are you scared? Go." He said, "No, no, no." You know how children will be there. "No, no, no, no." He will just be shaking because he's very pressed at that point. And I was like, I took him into the toilet, and once he's done, he come out. I noticed that, and he repeated it. Then I had to call him. I said, "What is going on?" He said, "Octopus." Ha. And then, "Octopus where?" He said, "There." I was saying, "What is octopus? How can octopus be here?" You can find octopus in big seas, the beach, those areas. He said, "No, octopus is there." I said, that place, that was a toilet. There's nothing like an octopus there. He said, the water, the everything. He was just narrating how the toilet looks. I called him, I said, "Bobo, no matter what, you can never," I said, "no matter what," I had to be specific to him. I said, "No matter what, you can never see an octopus in the toilet." I'm trying to help him get rid of that fear, all right? Because I believe that maybe he has heard of octopus, the way they move, maybe the way he saw it in the television, or probably maybe they taught him in the classroom. So now when he's seeing the water, he's like, octopus, and he's scared of it. So now I tell him, I say, from now onwards, even till you grow tall like daddy, you can never see octopus in the toilet. Octopus, you will see them in the sea. You will see them when you go to beach, that big water. This is how I had to explain to him, because he's still a toddler. So I said, that big water, when you see it, that's where you see the octopus. All right? He now said, okay. Since then till today, if he wants to eat himself, he will walk straight to the toilet and eat himself. I'm telling you this thing so that you know how to go about it. You know when to, come in with your support to support your child emotionally. All right? It was a big thing for him. I don't know how they explain the octopus, or how the person, maybe, sometimes when they want to teach a child something, they want to explain something, they will just, bring in that thing, telling them octopus live in the water. So he became scared, and they explained how the octopus moves and every other thing. The child becomes scared of it. So I now have to explain. I had to be specific and tell my child, octopus, you can only see it when you go to the beach. And he already know what the beach is. And you can only see it in big waters. Those waters that you see when you go to the beach, that is where octopus live. Hello, Gabriel from South Africa. Thank you for joining my live stream. Don't forget to subscribe, and please stay tuned. You're going to learn a lot of things from this channel today. All right? So that was actually how I got rid of my son's fear. That was how I came in and I helped him to get rid of that fear. Up until today, he walks straight into the toilet whenever he's pressed, whenever he wants to ease himself. Like as usual, he doesn't normally ask. So, but when he started, expressing that fear, I got to notice and I helped him get rid of it. All right. So these are the things you should do. Sometimes there is a parent that when a child starts acting that way, the parents will start shouting and yelling, "Come on, will you go there? Come on, will you enter the toilet and go and ease yourself? Why are you standing there? Come on," those things. Some children, even when you shout at them, they become more scared to the point that the child can even wee on him or herself. All right. But me, I happen to be very much careful in handling it. All right. So I expect each and every one of you to do the same. All right. When you see your child exhibiting a particular attitude, a particular character that you know that this is not who your child is. This is not you've taught your children ethics, the do's, the norms. They already know a lot of things, the good behaviors. All right. And now your child is acting on the whites. All right. Like you've not even taught he or she anything. All you need to do is calm down. Don't just try to handle things. Don't try to be rational. Calm down and think, what could be the cause of this? All right. Think, please. And most of the time, that's why I always say, most of the times at that point you don't need to spank. Spanking does not help. Instead, it will increase the child's fear. All right. So when I came in, I had to reassure my son that there's no way he can see an octopus in the toilet. It is never done. Like, I've never seen it. It might be in the internet that someone has actually, but for me, I haven't heard of it. So I had to reassure him. All right. So that's how I came in, and I got rid of the fear that he was having. So another thing is, like I said, this is actually when you see sudden change in behavior. All right. When your child suddenly change in his or her behavior, the things you've been teaching them all along, and now your child is acting otherwise, like you've not even said a thing to him or her. All you need to do is just calm down and ask yourself, what could be the cause of this? All right. Another sign that when you see it or when you observe it in your child, you will know that something is wrong. I think there is a particular thing going on in my child's life at this moment. Is what we call frequent anger. Whenever your child, you know that your home is always peaceful. You've taught your children to love one another, to love each other. What could have happened? One of your child suddenly develops anger issue. He or she frequently gets upset, gets irritated by. It is your duty as a parent to find out what could be the cause of that anger. See, most times when things are going wrong, or let's say when children are experiencing things in their life, they don't just come to you and say it. They don't come to you and say it straight up to you. Most of the time they express it through tantrums, mood swing, mood change in their behaviors, a lot of things. A lot of, like, when you look at them, you know that this is not my child, for Christ's sake. What could be wrong? What has happened? When you experience or notice that your child is now having mood swing, being irritated by little things, frequently getting angry and upset, please don't spank your child. Allow your child, at that point he or she is, exhibiting that character. Let the child finish, then call your child, sit he or she down, and have a one-on-one talk with them. Try to have a conversation, a one-on-one conversation. Find out, ask your child questions. You are her parents, you are his parents, so you are the right place, or let's say you have every right to ask your child what is happening in his or her life. All right. You are your child's safe zone. So that is why he or she is always exhibiting those things, so that you also notice. Because most of the time, children will not come up to you and tell you what is going on in their life. So now that you've observed and you've noticed, it is your duty to call your child in order. Call your child, ask them questions, then know how to go about it. If it's something that you are confused too, as a parent, you are confused. If your parents happens to be around, please seek for their advice. Explain what your child is going through. After all, they are their grandparents, so let them explain what you are experiencing in your child. Let your parents advise you. Then at the end of the day, you pick the right, or will I say, you make the right decision and help your child. All right? Please, I don't want this teaching to be confusing. So if you happen to be lost in at any point, please do well to call to my attention. All right? So that is actually one of the ways you can help your child emotionally. All right? Or will I say, one of the signs that when you notice in your child's life, you know that they need your help emotionally. All right? You need your emotional support. Even without anything, as a parent, you even without you being told, you need to be helping your children. You need to support them emotionally, help them get rid of their fear, help them to guide them, help them to explain why they need to be of their good behaviors. All right? Support your children. Don't always be entangled. Don't always be too engaged with your work activities that you no longer have time for your children. These things I'm saying, it might sound, very easy, but it takes an intelligent parent to observe or to notice when things are going wrong in your children's life. So please, always try to support your children emotionally, and don't always scare them, or will I say, don't always add to their problems by scaring them with your, too much scolding, too much spanking, and all of that. Try to be your child's friend. See your child as your child and also as your friend. Let them understand that you are their parents and you are their safe zone. Help them to understand that you are their best friends. Let me tell you something. When someone is a best friend to someone, they happen to tell them literally almost everything or some of the things that are happening in their lives. So try to be your child's best friend. All right? Don't always feel that they are challenging you, they are dragging your parenting position at home. No, they are not. Children will always be children. They will always throw tantrums here and there, but it's your duty to call them to order, to support them the right way, and not by judging them and not by shaming them, especially in the public. Please support your child. Support your child. Another sign that when you notice in your child's life and you know that your child needs your emotional support is when your child starts isolating him or herself. You could notice that maybe whenever your child is back, your child will be like, oh, mommy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, especially your teenage children. When you observe it, that they are now isolating themselves from their friends, from their siblings, from everyone at home, they just come back, they always want to be indoor. Please, it is a sign that something is going on. Internally, something is going on in your child's life. Try to figure out what that thing is. Ask questions. Ask your child every possible question. Figure out what it is. It is your duty as a parent to do that and help your child the right way. All right? And another sign is change in sleep or their sleeping pattern. You know that this is your child usually sleeps when you maybe when you're reading a bedtime story to your child, maybe or probably when you tell your child when you lay the bed and say go and sleep, your child will just hop up on the bed, put his or her head on the pillow and sleeps. The child will sleep off. But now your child is not sleeping. Even when you come back to check on the child, your child is still not sleeping. What do? You need to, ask the child, why are you not sleeping? Calmly. One of the things that scares children is when you talk to them harshly and when you feel that they are an adult, they should know everything. No. When you are talking to a child, you talk to them calmly. That's why a lot of people will say when you want to talk to a child, try to bend down, lower yourself to his or her height so that they will know, because most of the time when they are looking up to you, it's as if they are seeing one giant person, you get. But try to bring yourself down to their level. Try to bring yourself down to their level so that they will know that truly you care, truly you are concerned about their well-being. All right, so that is what you should do. So when you ask your child why he or she hasn't slept yet, all you need to do is find out a way to help your child sleep. You can tell your child a bedtime story, you can sing, you can tell them stories. It really do help. Bedtime stories do help. So that's why in the white people, they usually do more of it. But here in Nigeria, I wonder how many persons, how many mothers read bedtime stories to their children. I don't know how many persons like. Sometimes they prefer to give them cartoon, then at the end of the day they'll say, oh yeah, it's time, enough of the cartoon, time to sleep, time to sleep. They just put their children to bed without even reading bedtime story. But if you observe that your child's sleeping pattern changed, the child no longer sleep the way he or she ought to, please try to figure out what is going on. All right. And another thing, let's say another sign that when you observe it in your child's life, you know that your child needs your emotional support. It could be, the sign is loss of interest in things they love. Yes, you know that your child loves playing video games, but all of a sudden your child is no longer finding it fun again. Your child do not see it, do no longer have interest in it. Or it could be that your child is struggling internally, and also it could be that your child is stressed and is really affecting them. So all you need to do is find out what could be the cause of it. Why is my child no longer finding it fun to play with his siblings, to play with his friends, to play the video games that he or she is used to? So try to figure out. There could be a change that has occurred in his or her life that you need to be aware of. All right, so these are the things that when you notice it in your child's life, you know that my child at this point needs my emotional support. All right, so try. The most important thing in all of this is you being very much observant as a parent, to understand, to discover, to know when there is a change happening in your child's life. That way, and to also find out the reason for those things, for those changes. All right, that way you will know the right way to go about it. You can't help someone that you know nothing, you don't know what, when you don't know what is bothering your child, how do you help he or she? You need to know what is bothering him or her first before you know how to go about it. That way you know the right way to go about it, the right way to handle it, and all of that. So that is why I keep telling you as a parent, please, in as much as we are occupied with lots of works, our work activities, and I know we all need to work to support our families, but still don't overwork yourself to the point of you not observing the changes that are happening in your children's life, or for you not to know when to come in as a parent to help your child that is facing one challenge or the other emotionally. All right, be a good parent. It doesn't take much. It's just a little action, a little involvement in your child's life that will make you the best parent all over the world. All right, so please always do well to support your children. Hi, Isofo Yaha Yadam Baba. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining my live stream. I appreciate you. But at this point, you just joined my live stream. Alright, you are joining almost at the point when I'm almost done with the teachings. So please next time try to join early, and always spend at least 2 minutes before you log out to your preferred phone streaming platform, because I believe in one way or the other you will definitely learn one or two things from here. And don't forget that I always say that no knowledge is a waste. The things you're learning here might help you, even if you happen not to be a parent yet. It might help you to help someone that might be in need of a particular parenting challenge. All right, so always stay tuned whenever you happen to see my live stream. You're opportune to see it, I must tell you. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and always turn on the notification button so you get notified each time I am live. Please, for those of you joining at this late, almost at the ending time of my live stream, what I taught today is the signs that when you're observing your child's life, you know that they need your emotional support. Yes, emotional support. Some parents, they don't even know that their children needs emotional support. Some parents will be like, what is this one? Why are you acting up? When their children are throwing tantrums. So, especially our African parents, they will pound the hell out of you. They don't want you. They don't want you to come and disturb them. The parents will go as far as asking the child, am I the first to give birth? Am I the first to give birth? Of course, we do know you're not the first to give birth, but sometimes you need to be calm and observant as to things regarding your child's growth. All right, that way you'll do better as a parent. You don't always need to be a military kind of parent to handle your children. Sometimes you need to pay more attention, even if you choose to be that kind of military parent. Please always pay attention, all right, in your military parenting journey. So please always pay attention to the things. Just be very observant to the things that are happening in your children's life. It's very important, all right? And what are the things that I have to say, or will I say, what are the solutions? When you observe funny things, or your children are acting out of character, or mostly your children are throwing tantrums, they are being moody, they are selecting themselves, they are doing a lot of things that they don't normally do on a normal day. So all you need to do is call your child, have a one-on-one conversation. This is the number one solution. How you should go about it is what I'm saying right now. Have a one-on-one conversation with your child. That way you ask them questions, ask them what is bothering them. When you know what is bothering your child, that is the only way you can help your child. But if you don't know what is bothering the child, how do you go about helping them? So you have to have an idea of what is wrong with them before you can be able to help in the best way you can. All right. And another thing is, listen more. A lot of parents that when their children are, throwing tantrums, they scream, they shout like, in fact, it will make the child, if the child happens to enter the room, it will make the child never to dream of coming out that day, because you have said a lot of things and you have added to the child's problem. So parents, even when their child will, throw tantrums and become moody and they will go, some will say, go upstairs. When they go upstairs and lock their door, because of the things that parents has said to him or her, they will never want those children, they will never want to open the door again, because you will talk to them in a harsh tone and you feel they don't have the right to feel the way they are, the way they do. Let me tell you, children, see, they are humans also. Okay, so in as much as they are not adults, they have the right to feel the way they do. They have the right to express their feelings. Don't just try to shut your child up, all because you feel they are disturbing, or because you feel they are throwing tantrums that is not necessary. Sometimes leave them to express themselves, all right? But at the end of the day, then you teach them what is necessary and what is not, all right? So that they will, be of their best behavior the next time. But always let them know at that point that you're correcting them. If you really want to get your child, win your child's heart, tell that child, I understand what you're going through, and it is okay for you to feel the way you're feeling now. It shows that you're a human and you have emotions too. So you have to express anyhow you feel. Tell your child. It's even important you say it to them by yourself as a parent. Tell them that they have every right to express their feelings the way they are doing at that moment. That it is okay for them to be sad, it's okay for them to be throwing tantrums, it is okay for them to be moody, it is okay for them to be crying. But at the end of the day, does that help you? Will throwing tantrums help you? Will being moody help you? Will isolating yourself help you? Those are the things you also teach your children, so that at the end of the day, you have these children that are emotionally intelligent. All right, you're the one that will teach your children. You inculcate those intelligence in them. All right, that is why they say teach your children young, impart in them. Sometimes don't just say, they are children, I'm not supposed to teach them how to be emotionally intelligent. No, they are children. In fact, that is when you need to bring in all the ethics, the do's and don'ts, the norms, the values. Bring it in, teach them. Always be consistent with it. Teach them those things. Don't be scared when you're teaching your child, or don't lose hope or feel that they are not learning it. They are grasping it at that point, all right? And you will help them more when you're consistent with it. Any teaching, if you want to say, let me tell you this, if you want to raise a child that is very optimistic, that knows his or her self-worth, that knows his or her value as a person, that will be proud of him or herself, a child that will not have low self-esteem, you will have to be consistent with it. If you're teaching, you have to be consistent. Constantly remind them. Before you know it, you will start to have children that are very, very intelligent when it comes to emotions, children that are emotionally intelligent. You have children that knows their self-worth. You won't happen to raise children that will start seeking for love where there is none. No, they will know their self-worth. They won't want to take rubbish, all right, from any unnecessarily. You don't treat them anyhow because they know their rights. That is why when you see white people, when you see them expressing their rights, you'll be like, the Africa will be like, oh wow, really? It's because their parents know, their parents has taught their children, they have inculcated their values, those things in their child. They have helped their children know their self-worth, know their rights. Even as a citizen, they know their rights. That way, nobody talks to them, nobody talks down on your child. And wherever your child finds him or herself, your child will stand out. Will stand out for him or herself. Your child will not be bullied unnecessarily. In fact, your child will not be bullied. How dare that person? Because the person knows the child, whose child that child is. Don't mind me. I'm trying to, boost our morals. And also let you know that some things are actually possible, because when you choose to have children that are emotionally intelligent, optimistic, you will. It's just it's a determination, and when you're determined and when you're consistent with your teachings towards your children, they will learn it, they will grasp it. Don't feel their children, oh, they are still little, I'm not going to bring this kind of teaching to them. No, teach them and be consistent, monitor them, and ensure that they are living up to your expectations. All right, we are the parents, and we always have our children's best interest at heart. We will never deceive our children, all right, and we will never hurt our children or allow anyone hurt them. So that way we will teach them, and we will guide them, and we will also help them to know who they are, to know their value, to know their self-worth. All right. Okay, another way is, I said, sometimes when you observe your children, change in mood swing, character, and all of that, and you have tried to help in the best way you can, most children would not want you to, especially if you are a single parent. You will be experiencing your children not wanting to talk to you, especially if you happen to be a parent that had maybe adopted a child. Somehow it might be difficult. So what do you do at this point? Seek for professional help. All right, that is why I had to put on my email address on this channel. When you go to my description, you will certainly see an email address there. When you have a pressing situation, or probably a question that you really want me to give you an answer to it, personally, go to my email, drop the question on my email address. I am definitely going to email you back and give you a solution and how you can go about it. All right, so when your child refuses to talk to you, refuses to talk to your grandparents and all of that, seek for professional help. Maybe the child has something that he or she is not proud to say to you, that they can maybe comfortably say it to a therapist, a professional, and maybe you can now hear about that from that therapist. The therapist will definitely tell you as a parent, this is what your child is battling, this is what is going on in your child's life, so that way you also can help your child at home. All right, and at the end of the day, everybody will be happy, and you'll be most delighted, because you are their parents. All right, parenting is not easy. Parenting is not that difficult, and mind you, parenting can never be delegated. It is your duty, and you have to face it. You can't say, oh, I want to assign this person to do my duty for me. No, it is never done that way. You must face it. Even if that happens to be your worst fear, you must face it. All right, you have to be involved. All right, before you say, see, people that happens to be the best parents all over the world, it didn't happen all over in fact, they have to put more effort sometimes to create time. Don't only say, oh, I'm caught up with work, I'm working, I'm trying to save my family, I am working. See, no matter the excuses you have to give today, when those children become an adult and start avoiding you and all of that, their attitudes are not always what you expect. They are not acting the way you expect them to towards you. It is not because they don't want to, it's because you have taught them to live that way. All right, when they don't share things, their personal things, or maybe things regarding their present family, maybe they are married, and you keep on hearing it from an outsider, it's because you as their parents, you have taught them to be independent and to find the solution to their own problems, like to never seek for your own opinion. All right, and now you will find out that all those words all those your businesses, all those your work activities that has caught up with your time, that has made you engaged you so much, is not worth it any longer. Now you are looking for a way to have a little time with your child, and it's too late. Please start on time. Be involved in your child's life. Like I always say, parenting can never be delegated. You have to be involved and help your child grow the right way. All right? So thank you so much for joining my live stream. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you have a particular thing you want to say, maybe to add to what I've taught so far, please don't forget to drop it on the comment section, and please do well to subscribe. All right, please subscribe to my channel. After my teachings, I always plead with people to always subscribe to my channel. Thank you. I know most of the times it's not easy, but I still believe that somehow you'll find a way to subscribe to my channel. All right, thank you so much, and don't forget to always join my live stream. Before, I usually start the live stream by 9:30, but I figured out that by that time, a lot of people, when they're back from work, they must be stressed out, and that's why I had to bring it down. All right, so I'm now starting it by 8 o'clock p.m. All right, 8 p.m. So please always do well to join my live stream, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. Please, if you have any question, feel free to ask. I am going to be giving, I have 4 more minutes to go. So within these 4 minutes, I'm going to be waiting for your response, your questions. Maybe if you're confused at any point in this teachings for today, please ask your questions. All right, so for that 4 minutes, so feel free to drop your question if you have one. All right, 3 more minutes to go. If you have a question, feel free to drop it. All right, and let me know if you're confused at any point. Please let me know. If you have something to add to all I've taught today, remember, signs that when you observe it in your child's life, you will know that they need your emotional support as a parent. That is our today's topic. So if you have something to add to it, please drop it as a comment. I will appreciate it a whole lot. All right, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification button so you get notified each time I'm live, or probably when I upload a new video. All right, so that you get to see it, watch it, and learn 1 or 2 from it. Okay, any question? Usually when it's my question time, YouTube normally recommend games for me, but I'm logging in with a different mobile, so that's why they are not recommending. I don't know. So if you have a question, please feel free to ask. If you have a question, feel free to ask. Any question for me? See, I love it when after teaching and I'll be asked questions, because it makes me feel that someone really heard what I thought, and also that I'm making progress. All right, so if you have a question, I will appreciate it a whole lot. Please ask, even if it's one, I will appreciate it. Even if it happens not to be this, today's teaching question, you can actually ask. If you have something, a question as regards to parenting, you can actually ask. All right, do you have any question? And I'm having one person that is standby and watching, streaming. Thank you so much. I don't know who you are, but whoever you are, I want to appreciate you a whole lot. God will continue to bless you. You are one of the people that are supporting my channel. Like, I don't know how to thank you enough, but thank you so much, at least for staying to see to the success of this live stream. Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Do you have any question? It's actually a question period. Do you have any question? Feel free to ask, as long as it's something that has to do with parenting. You are free. Ask your questions, please. And I wanted to ask about my video quality, because before, weeks back, most of the times when I'm doing live streaming, a lot of people will say, go and. So one person has to say, dude, go and get a good phone. That day, I know how I felt, but I think that God has made it possible by providing a new phone for me. So I don't know how the video quality is. If this video quality is not up to what you expect, or not up to the standard that you usually like, please, I apologize. All right, I'm still making efforts to see that I have the best video quality so far. All right, with time things are going to get better, and there'll be a good change, and a positive change at that. All right, so thank you so much. Any question for me? Please don't forget to subscribe. Any question for me? Any question? Or should I ask? Yesterday on my live stream game, I asked a question. Should I repeat the same question to see if maybe probably you haven't heard of it, so I can be able to answer? But my time is elapsing at this point. Do you have any questions? Feel free to ask questions. All right. The other day I was live and someone said, I don't have any questions to ask. I'm not a parent. You must not be a parent before you can be able to participate. All right. Even somehow, a lot of people are parents, but they don't know. It could be that you're taking care of your niece, your nephew, your neighbor's children. See, so long as there's a child that you have corrected once in your life, you're also a parent. All right. It mustn't be your own child that you lead the right way. All right. So if you have actually helped a child to do better, to grow well, to correct a child from his or her wrongdoing, you are also a good parent. All right. Yes, believe me, you're a good parent. It shows, it tells that you will also do better when you finally become a parent. You will do better. You'll be one of the best daddies and best mommies in the whole wide world. Alright, so thank you so much for joining and tuning into my live stream. My name is Chisom Vivian Ebibilim, and this is my parenting channel. And please do get to subscribe, and also don't forget to join my live stream. It starts 8 p.m. every day. Alright, so don't forget to join my live stream, and always come with your questions. If you're confused in anything or at anything in your parenting life or in your parenting journey, please do well to bring it here and ask your questions, and in one way or the other, you will get a solution to your problem. All right, so thank you so much. Always take care of your family. Please stay safe, and also try to be the best dad and the best mom you can. All right, love you guys.